Even though the new 4-wheel drive e-Power Note is a hybrid, its pure electric drivetrain makes it feel like the Nissan Leaf's kid brother, in a way. This particular model I'm reviewing is the top-of-the-line Medalist version with sporty alloy wheels and two-tone paint job. It also comes with the Onzen or safety package, which is anti-collision, as well as cruise control and a two-tone interior. With its small 1.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack and strong regenerative braking, you can drive for quite a while on the little bit of battery you have available before the engine kicks in. Even when the engine does kick in, it's usually only for 10 to 15 seconds. When you need good acceleration for passing or extra power to climb a steep hill, the engine will kick in those moments and it can be pretty loud. The exterior and interior are the same on the 4-wheel drive as the 2-wheel drive Medalist models, with the exception of the button on the dash to switch between 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive.
We are now in the Nissan e-Power 4-wheel drive, which means dual motor Note. I tried to get information from the dealership here about the car, so I have specs and not much help. So I'm gonna do an overlay. Maybe I already did it, I'm not sure where I'm gonna put this part of the video in, but anyways, there will be an overlay with the which way should I go? With the information about the car. The dealer told me he thinks both motors are 80 kilowatt motors, same as the Leaf. Of course, we're not getting that 80 kilowatt power, but that's what he thinks. What's nice about this car is you can activate I guess the front motor. You can activate the front motor at any time on this car. Or is it the rear motor? Are these things front wheel drive or rear wheel drive? Probably front wheel, so I guess it'd be the rear motor. You can activate the rear motor at any time just by pushing a button, and it's instant. So you have, like, at a stop, I can click this into 4-wheel drive right now, and I am now 4-wheel drive from the very beginning and lots of torque. So yeah, we got that going for us. I'm sorry if you're hearing a little noise. It is really muggy today, and I will turn the air conditioning off as soon as this car gets cooled down a bit. Okay, already I'm noticing the engine's kicking in almost right away because I'm using the 4-wheel drive, I think. The engine is charging the batteries right now. It's got a very smooth acceleration because of the electric drivetrain. But there is a bit of... Oh, there it goes. The engine cut out now. I'm in the S mode, the sport mode, so it means I have pretty much the same as the E pedal. It's a one pedal driving. So it'll stop, complete stop. It doesn't use the brake calipers like the ProPilot e-pedal does, but not ProPilot, but the Lisa e-pedal does, but it's very strong regenerative braking. Just gonna go around. I don't know if there's a course. I'm not following a course.
It's fine, I think.
Yeah, I am noticing you're using a lot more engine when you have it in 4-wheel drive. I'm going to take it out of 4-wheel drive. Now I'm in 2-wheel drive. And let's see how much engine I'll be using now. Right now I have to charge the battery again already. Also got the air conditioning going. That's going to take some extra battery as well. Wow, it's really smooth. It feels just like driving a Leaf or something. It's very smooth. I'm in 2-wheel drive mode. Sure enough, the motor never kicked in on accelerating. I'm going to drive, see how long it takes for that battery. Needs a little brake, actually. That was a quick yellow light. Went right to red. I just want to see how long it can go before the gasoline engine kicks in again to charge up the batteries. It's going to be a while, I think. In 2-wheel drive mode, it does have excellent. Whoop. Is that the engine? No, it's not. That was not the engine. According to the display, the engine is not kicking in. Wow, this is really beautiful. It feels like a full EV when the engine is not going. And then when it's in 2-wheel drive, when the engine does kick in, it's only for like a 15-20 second interval. It charges the batteries pretty quick, and you get going because you're using a lot of regen as well. A lot of regen is going, so if you're lucky enough You can go a long time before you need that gasoline engine if you can regen good enough. Right now, I'm using the battery straight to the wheels. Not getting any regen right now. Actually, we're going uphill a little bit. I can feel it. But still, the engine has not kicked in yet. That's pretty impressive. Turn here. Just gonna go around circles, I guess.
I think so.
Yeah. It's a good way to test different features because we know it's pretty flat here. I like this E-pedal feel. You have a sport mode, it feels like E-pedal. I'm just doing one pedal driving part for the most part. Still no engine kicking in. It's just all electric right now. It's been all electric since I turned off the four-wheel drive, which is quite a while ago. Over a kilometer ago. You do sit low in these cars. This style of car, like the Fit. This is in the same class as the Fit or the Demio, the Mazda Demio. Engine just kicked in. You probably heard it before I did. It's so quiet it was hard for me to tell. I had to look at the display. But the engine did kick in now. Alright, so now after the engine charges up the batteries, I'm going to go back to four-wheel drive from a stop. I guarantee it. It'll use the battery up real quick. We'll also test acceleration a little bit later. Okay, it's done with that, so I'm going to switch over to four-wheel drive. I am now four-wheel drive. And this isn't, this is full-time four-wheel drive, and it's electric. When you turn it on, it's full time, four-wheel drive, full electric. But I wouldn't use it for off-roading. It's really meant for like snow and wet conditions, things like that. Extra traction when you need it. Better steering, bad weather. Interesting. That's interesting. Hasn't kicked in. I'm still four-wheel drive, but I thought for sure the engine would kick in sooner. The regenerative braking feels the same. It doesn't like double or anything with the four-wheel drive kicked in, activated. No, still, that's not the engine, according to this. I don't know what that noise is. But it's still battery. Love the one pedal driving. Let me open the windows. It helps a little bit. So, overall experience, the driving experience, the seats are hard compared to the Leaf. You sit lower, but the visibility is still pretty good because it's a small car. Legroom is ample for me. I'm not super tall, but I'm just under 6 feet, and I'm pretty much all legs the way my body was designed. So pretty good legroom in the front. I'll tell you later whether the legroom is good or not in the back. Interior is basically the same as the regular e-Power Note. There's the engine, just kicked in. Okay. Well, that was pretty good. That didn't do too shabby. Almost with the same amount of range in four-wheel drive as I did on two-wheel drive. So that's not bad. That's pretty good. Pretty impressive. So, like I said, the interior is about the same, pretty much the same. This is called the Medalist though, so it's a little higher end. You get little perks like different pattern on your seats, different color seats. You can actually choose the color. I think they have a brown interior if you want it for this car. On the Medalist, you have Medalist comes in you can get a two-tone with matching door handles and side mirrors to the black top. What else comes with Medalist? That's about it.
Wheel?
Huh? Oh, the wheels. Yeah, it's got better wheels on it. A little nicer looking alloy wheels on it. Thank you. All right, let's see what the performance is like. Now, when I hit the performance, when I hit the accelerator, the gasoline engine will kick in to give us the extra power boost for the performance. It took a few seconds for it to kick in, but once the engine started revving good, the power came on, and it was pretty good. It didn't have that EV instant torque and pull that you get in a Leaf per se, but that was very, very good for this class of car. It will definitely outperform a Fit or what's the other one? What's the one same class as this?
Prius C.
Prius C.
Demio.
Demio. And the is there something else beside a Fit that Honda has that's just a little bit bigger than a Fit? No? Just a Fit. Okay. This is pretty impressive. Try again. Oh, there's some torque.
Policeman.
Oh, really? What?
Right here.
Oh.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, but I'm still going to speed limit.
Although I don't feel it stands out over the competition, thanks to its short wheelbase, the Nissan Note has a pretty good turn radius, which does help when making a U-turn on a narrow 2-lane street. Considering how low you sit in this car, visibility is still pretty good, but I wish they would have made the A-pillars a little bit thinner.
Here we go! It was my GoPro camera.
What?
My little GoPro camera. I had it in a pocket and underneath the dash, and I actually pulled it right out. That's pretty good. It's not Leaf. That's not even close to Leaf acceleration, but for a car in this class, that was really good.
No, you can do four.
Yeah, I'll do four-wheel drive next. Honestly, where did my camera go? It hit my leg and it rolled away. Probably in the back, right? Alright, here we go. That's pretty good. It takes a second for it to kick in. Yeah, it takes a second for it to kick in. It doesn't really kick in until about 15-20 kilometers an hour. Then it finally gives you enough power to accelerate. And but once that kicks in, you do feel the torque, you feel the acceleration, and it accelerates quickly. I got to 60 in no time. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. All right, I'm back. Okay, so 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, feels the same. Acceleration, I didn't feel a difference. Did you feel a difference on that? There might be a difference, but it's so minimal I didn't even notice it. Wow, that's good for a car this size. That's good for a car this size. Pretty impressive. Uh-oh.
It's so busy around here.
Yeah, it really is. It's crazy. Bad traffic on the street. Anyways, so that's that. I'll get back to you in a few seconds. With the lower stance, which gives you a sportier feel, more like a go-kart almost, that's a good thing, but the bad thing to it is getting out. It could be a little tricky for some people. The door's open, pretty good, pretty wide for getting in and out though, which helps with that lower stance. Interior space isn't too bad, but as you can see, my legs are pushed back with the front, driver in the front seat. So it's a little uncomfortable for long trips probably because I have no support for the bottoms of my legs here. So that could be a problem, but tons of room here in this direction. But there is something underneath the seat that's blocking my feet from going further forward. So there is a bit of a comfort problem here. It's a 5-passenger car, but when you don't have anybody in the middle, you have a nice armrest available to with cup holders, and you have a bottle holder in the side pocket of the doors. One thing I noticed with this car though is because it has such a small battery pack, even when you floor it and accelerate pretty good, when you let up on the accelerator, you're regenning, and the battery pack is so small Okay, I can't do it. It charges the battery up quite a bit, so it doesn't really affect your what do you call it, the gas mileage or the range or anything. It doesn't really affect it too much. I don't even know what they call it on this car. Is it Dimpy or Nimpy? Dimpy is for electric cars. Nimpy is for gasoline cars. So that was interesting. Also, I don't like some of the button placements, and this air conditioning unit. Not a big fan. It reminds me of the Jukes. And when I'm wearing these sunglasses, I can't even see the display. I take my sunglasses off to see what the display says. So that's not a nice feature. Another nice thing about this car that what was it? The Selena? But the Selena you can't turn off the noise on the Selena, e-Power Selena, right? It was the Selena. There's no noisemaker button on the new Selena. The note that you still have a button to turn off the noisemaker. However, I swear I heard it earlier. So maybe even still, you can turn it off, but at super low speeds, maybe it's still. No, it's still on. I'm not sure. Right now I can't hear it because I've got the air conditioning going. So I'm not sure if it's on or off. It's such a smooth acceleration on this car. It's such a smooth ride. It does have a much harder ride because of the kind of car we're dealing with. It's a stiffer suspension, harder ride than the Leaf. But it feels good. I like with the low stance. You feel like you can take corners pretty good in this car. It feels like a go-kart almost. I like the steering wheel. It's got a flat bottom, so it gives you lots of leg room, and it's got a good feel to it. So yeah, and the navigation, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, it does. Navigation is small. It's the same size as the Leaf. It's a 6-inch display. Pretty much all their cars are that way. There's only 2 models that you can get a bigger display on. All right, got done test driving the car. Went to the dealer, asked him some questions about the car, and he had no idea. So I'm now in Ginza, right in front of the Ginza Crossing, Nissan Ginza Crossing. Let's go inside. I'll ask some questions and see if we can get some better answers inside. All right, see you there. We were just talking about the e-Power Note four-wheel drive, and I was wondering, is the gas tank, how's the gas tank? Is it the same as the two-wheel drive?
Exactly the same one, unless you pick up it's not a four-wheel drive, there's one model for S, a two-wheel drive version, that will be more smaller capacity.
And why is that? What's the S? What's special about the S? That sports package or something?
S is more like a starter price model.
Got it. Right. You were talking about, with the notes, you were talking about, what are they, #1 right now in the world or in Japan for sales? In Japan.
Sales.
You beat Toyota. That's a big deal.
It was. It's almost like 15 years.
15 years since Toyota's been dethroned from the #1 position. And Nissan did it with the Note.
Yes. You know what? 80% of the people who purchase a Note pick up the e-Power system.
Oh, really? I believe it, because when I go out, I hardly ever see a regular Note anymore. It's almost always e-Power, right?
Yeah, you can see the blue
line, right? So you know right away, but that iconic blue line on it. Yeah. I just checked over again. Wonderful car. Amazing car. The four-wheel drive was really nice. The mileage is crazy insane.
Is it compared to the petrol? The gas one?
Yeah.
More than that. The concept of the e-Power is about the engine is a generator, so that's why, and the battery is not that big. It's quite small.
Right.
So we wanted to run the engine in a very efficient way and produce electricity. So even though you push the acceleration a bit harder, but then the sound is not much.
Right.
And depending on the capacity of the battery, the engine not pick up. And also not just the acceleration, but the space inside is super spacious. That is the biggest thing for a Note, especially the back seat. Super wide leg room.
Right.
People are really surprised about it.
When can we see ProPilot in the Note?
ProPilot Note.
When can we see that? When is that coming out?
Well, ProPilot is one of the main technology that we put a lot of energy on. And you know what? The Note has a first score, a first grade.
Right.
That says Lunking.
Yeah, yeah.
So people
I
are
see
really assuming that, but right now, Nissan never mentioned about this.
Because you do have an e-Power Serena, and it has a really good ProPilot system in it.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
Like Serena is a good example.
What's that?
And yeah, the e-Power system, ProPilot, Arco system.
Boom. It's perfect.
So
Perfect.
that is, you know, we are promoting two type of technology. One hand is a ProPilot autonomous drive operation, and the other hand is an electric wheel.
Right.
So we definitely wanted to produce like the Serena, you know, it has a two type of technology.
Right. So getting back to the four-wheel drive e-Power Note, what can you tell me about the motors? Like size, are they the same size, the dual motors, or what can you tell me about that?
Well, unfortunately, Nissan never mentioned about those information.
Yeah, I can't seem to find anything myself online anywhere, so okay, probably not important. Alright, so we got a lot of information there from that place, and even though they couldn't answer some of the questions I asked, I did get a lot of information. For example, we know that it does have same size tank. I wrote it down. It's a 41 liter tank, which works out to, what is that? 11 gallons, works out to 11 gallon tank. And on that 41 liters, you can go about 20, on that car you can go about 20 kilometers a liter, so it works out to 820 kilometers on one tank of gas. Which that, in miles, that would be 47.5 miles to the gallon. With 11 gallon tank, it works out to 522.5 miles on one tank of gas with a 11 gallon tank. Very small tank. That's excellent mileage on that car. And that's with the four-wheel drive. I'm doing the four-wheel drive stats. That's really good with a four-wheel drive car. It is a little less on the fuel economy than the standard two-wheel drive, but not too bad. And so yeah, that's great on that. I did find out it does take a little longer to charge up the battery when they go dead using the engine than I thought. You know, when you're driving, it feels like 10-15 seconds. It's really more like 35-37 seconds, it looks like, and so that's not too bad. Especially if you're able to do a lot of regenerative braking, even quicker for sure. So in summary, it's a great little four-wheel drive car for the colder climate areas, and a lot of fun to drive. And I did find out there is a new Nissan model Note coming out. It actually came out yesterday, but it's nothing available yet at the dealerships. When that's available, I will try it out because it's they claim it's a 25% power increase in the motors, electric motors. So that should be quite a bit of fun to drive. So when that comes out, I will let you guys. I'll make a video and I'll put it up for you guys if you're interested. So thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you guys soon.